I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, it's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this to all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. Rolling in and doing that work. Check priorities, I'm doing that first. Checks big and I'm sure that hurts, but it's checkmate, we ain't selling short, know the work. Ain't nowhere to hide, you ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, man we coming for them bags. If they said I couldn't have, keep the team. I got a vision for the things you ain't believe. And here's the motto, hard work, this over everything. It's that comeback. I'm calling plays, hit the pass, then the run back. Yeah, I'm far ahead and gotta run laps. But we ain't letting up, we never done that. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah, on the way. I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, it's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this to all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. Rolling in and doing that work. Check priorities, I'm doing that first. Checks big and I'm sure that hurts, but it's checkmate, we ain't selling short, know the work. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, man, we coming for them bags that they said I couldn't have, get the team. I got a vision for the things you ain't believe. And here's the motto, hard work, this over everything. It's that comeback. I'm calling plays, hit the pass, then the run back. Yeah, I'm far ahead and gotta run laps. But we ain't letting up, we never done that. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah, I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah, on the way. I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a symphony of skill, strategy and pure adrenaline? Because the electrifying PMPL Europe Fall 2023 season is knocking at your screens. And before the battles ignite, let's unveil the top contenders wrestling for glory. Hold your breath for the undeniable rules of Europe, the Gladiators. Remember their awe-inspiring spectacle they put on during spring? After a slow start in the race, their meteoric rise sees the high-stakes showdown. While others stumbled near the finish line, Gladiators soared, like they were saving that remarkable streak for the most defining moment, racing past Major Pride to triumphantly claim the PMPL EU crown. Madigan Tixi, the Golden Duo, left their mark in MVP ranks, securing their spots as legends. But beware, the competition's fierce this season. Will they defend their throne or face an unexpected twist?
Place the assist over towards Dagestan. He knows that. Starts spraying into the smoke himself. Tixi finds a lot of damage. And 15 eliminations found. That's massive here. Come on, Tixi.
Rising from the ashes of mediocrity, Major Pride made jaws drop last season with their spectacular run. They transformed the league stage into their playground and owned the finals with an astounding 15 elimination opener, settling the debate over EU's rising power. However, a heart-wrenching stumble at the finish line allowed Gladiators to snatch the spotlight. Effect and Nomi spearheaded their charge. Effect also accounted for the highest individual frags from the season. After such a close call last season for Major Pride, can this fall finally bring their champions break?
Crawl in for the res either, and there's a first aid. That is so important for Monkey. A nade as well being cooked. The blue zone pushes. Kapahala, he's betting it all on this nade. The cook is there. Will he get it in time? He does! And from underneath, it's Major Pride lobbing in for 3 points.
Here's the underdog story you've been waiting for. It's Nexus Gaming. From mid-placers to runners-up in the championship, they've stunned us all with their awe-inspiring transformation. Day 1, Match 6 of PMPL EU Championship, the lobby was silenced after these boys delivered an 18-elimination chicken dinner. This was their rallying cry that transpired into unwavering consistency for the rest of the championship. Doran led the charge with unmatched eliminations, a well-deserved MVP that would inspire talents on their relentless pursuit to pro-level glory. But will they carry their redemption arc to this fall and make it a full circle?
But will it be in the correct location? Octavian just waiting for that peak. He's confident with his rifle skill.
He's got practically nothing left here, Jackie. 5 bullets in the UMP, enough to finish off. Might try for the res, or at least look at a little bit more ammo. For the nades passed across as well, that's big. Just drops one down to cause him to push out to the side. It's going to continue to push in, the nade might explode. And that's it.
Come on.
Hold on to your seats as fresh blood and seasoned mastery unite under one banner, Titan Gaming. Old Boy, Africa's MVP, teams up with Icy, once the Western Europe disruptor from his days in Unicorns of Love. Add Robs from the French powerhouse Game Lord and Havlik from Excuse Me, and you have a cocktail of raw talent and experience. Can this fusion of excellence bring the thunder? Watch as they redefine the term Titans and leave jaws on the floor.
He's still there. He drops down and takes up the mantle from Matic. 3 teams remain. Effect pushes in, takes care of it, but Excuse Me now. 1 versus 3 against Effect. Move in up the top rope, but it's Excuse Me.
Feel the ground tremble as the Mad Bulls barge their way into fall season. Winners of the previous fall season, unyielding aggression and the champion's blood coursed through their veins. Zerich's record-breaking damage and MVP status are just the beginning. They're out for blood and aiming to make rivals tremble before their monstrous chicken dinners.
Reflect is still there, should have broadside completely. He stands up, gives the position away, and there's the challenge. Zerich wins it out. What?
Will your favorites conquer, or will newcomers steal the spotlight? Find out as the battleground ignites and heroes emerge in a saga that'll be etched into PMPL EU's lore forever.
Here has to hit the deck, doesn't go down fully, but there he goes.
Oh, send him in through the front, trying to be the tripwire too. They've all got to push him towards the house.
We are back. I hope you did not miss us too.
GC, so really excited for this season.
Really excited indeed. And it's a jam-packed season full of action. If you're wondering how exactly it's going to be unfold, don't you worry. Blank sat down, did a little bit of an explainer, so let's check in with him.
Get ready once again to dive into the action as we bring you the best PUBG Mobile action from the European region. Let's take a look at how the competition will progress. We start off with the league stage, which will last a total of 3 weeks. Every week we'll have 6 match days. 20 teams will be divided into 5 groups, and 4 groups will play at a time. There will be 5 matches on each match day, and following a round-robin format, each team will play 4 matches. Therefore, each team will play a total of 24 maps per week to build their tally of points. Based on that week's table, the top 12 teams will get to play on a bonus map for additional points. The top 16 teams at the end of the 3 weeks, based on the combined score of each week, will be moving on to the grand finals. But the league stage will also be an opportunity for teams to earn crucial bonus points to start off with an advantage in the finals. Teams will earn bonus points based on their placements each week. There will be a total of 4 opportunities to earn bonus points, once for each week and once based on the overall table. In the grand final, 16 teams will clash over 18 matches spread over 3 days. And like always, the top team at the end of the competition will be declared the winners of PMPL Europe Fall 23. Additionally, the top 8 teams will also be moving on to the European Championship. Don't forget to tune in and catch your favorite teams and pro players in action.
Don't forget to tune in, Max. Don't, because we are live here today and we're going to be tuning in indeed because there is so much to cover. We're going to be going over the format and, you know, I'm going to have to do this to you, Max. I'm really sorry, but there is no longer Vikendi for the top 12 teams. I'm so sorry. It's Livik now. How are you feeling?
Why you got to start with violence right now? It's just a pre-show, and you got to bring me the bad news. But no, it's going to be Livik. It's fun, Livik. You know, a little bit of a different map that we don't typically see. I did enjoy some Vikendi in the spring season, but it's Livik this time around, so there's not much you can do about it. You just got to be top 12 at the end of the phase, and you're going to have some extra points. And we've seen it in the past, right, Ginny? Those extra points can be pretty damn impactful.
Absolutely, and it's really great to bring up points because that's going to be our next talking point. It's very similar to what we've seen, or if not identical, during the spring, where if you're first, you get 10 points, and one elimination equals 1 point. So it's still not too heavy emphasizing on those eliminations, but rather on how well you finish in the leaderboard when it comes to playing your games. And then, of course, Max, you also get the bonus points. And as you already touch upon this a little bit yourself, these have been so important for some of these teams.
If you just look back on the spring season, right, Ginny, you're looking at Major Pride in particular. They had 76 out of the total maximum 80 points you can normally get. So they were only missing a mere 4 points. They really fell off. No, it was really good. They got 76 points out of 80. That was a massive lead. Unfortunately, Gladiators had a really good final, so they couldn't maintain that first position, but we saw it be so impactful in the past. So if you can top the tables every single phase and the overall leaderboards, of course, because that's important too, then you're going to be in a really good spot in the finals and to hopefully qualify for PMGC. So there's a lot on the line here.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line in terms of qualifying, but also there is a prize of money on the line. $100,000, $11,000 for that first place. And as usual, the MVP gets to share the money. League stage first to 20th place gets a little. And also there's going to be the Livik rewards. Last time this was the Vikendi, but now it's Livik. So again, it's really important to get those points because at the end of the day, you do transfer those to cash, literally.
Yeah. I want to see one of the prizes. I haven't seen the prizes. I want one to be to eliminate someone to roll them over with the monster truck. If that would be a cool one. I don't know if it's been done though, so I would recommend it.
I would actually pay to watch that, but we said it already, it's going to be jam-packed with action this season, and that's because we're starting today and we have 3 play days this week, 3 play days next week, a little bit of a break to touch some grass and get it all back together, and then we're back with 6 play days in the second week of September for phase 2, followed by 3 play days back to back for the 3 weeks after that. Now, Max, I don't know about you, but I hecking love the way this calendar is looking.
It's really amazing because having 3 play days, then 4 break days, if you have a really tough start in this first phase, for example, which we've seen that happen with a few really good teams in spring season, you can make some really big changes. And you also have some unofficial scrims happening during those like off days, which is also interesting for these teams to try their strategies and see if they work out. And during that break week, we're going to have an update, which is typically when we have break weeks is when we have a pretty big update. And there's going to be a few changes happening in that patch. So we'll talk about it when we get to that week, but I think it could change the meta a little bit.
Yeah, the metas maybe changed a little bit, but also teams, familiar and new ones, have joined us amongst the ranks of PMPL EU Fall 2023. I mean, the one really standing out to me is Vulgar Boys, just because they have the absolute cutest logo. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that's the reason. But SBG also changing theirs. Max, talk to us about these new additions, these changes in terms of the teams that have joined us and what we can expect from them.
Well, look, you got the big 3, right, is what I like to call them, Ginny. You got the big 3. It's Gladiators, Major Pride, and Mad Bulls. So they're the 3 teams you expect to top the tables. You expect them to do well every single phase, to go into the finals, win the finals possibly, and go into the championship. Okay, those teams, we expect great things from them. Though, we got some nice little roster changes happening throughout this season. But social media, Ginny, we're not going to talk about the teams. Follow us right now.
follow us on social media. No, but indeed, social media is just to make sure that you guys can stay up to date with what's going on in terms of the roster, in terms of how teams are performing. You can support your favorite team by engaging with the posts in general. Just look at that, okay? Unicorns of Love, Nexus, Gaming Gladiators. It does highlight what teams you guys are looking forward to play, and you know, we love supportive fans. And sometimes, you know, maybe Max throws in a kind of funny post-ish.
Maybe. If you're lucky, if I'm in the mood, I might do.
Assalomu alaykum. Yana bir bora. Bizani boshida birozgina texnik nosozliklar sababli eshitolmay qolganlar uchun, o'zi hamma eshitolmay qoldi, bir-birimizdan tashqari. Biz bir-birimizni eshitamiz yaxshi. Har holda shunisi bor. Xo'p, PMPL Yevropa kuzgi mavsum ochilishi oldidan turibmiz hamma bilan birga. Yana bir bora assalomu alaykum. Sizlar bilan mikrofonlar qarshisida llab-quvvatlang va Aziz aka.
Barchaga yana bir bora assalomu alaykum, qadrli muxlislar. Ozgina kichkina o'sha tanaffusdan keyin yana sizlar bilan ajoyib turnir orqali ko'rishib turganimizdan nihoyatda xursandmiz va bugun llab-quvvatlang qanaqa turnirni biz guvohi bo'lamiz. Mana shu haqida sizga topshiraman to'liq ma'lumot berishni.
Katta musobaqa 21 kun davom etadigan, bir oydan ko'proq vaqt davom etadi ushbu musobaqa. 21 kun endi bu aynan o'sha o'yin kunlari. Orada dam kunlari bo'ladi jamoalar uchun va format juda ham qiziq. Biz grafikalar orqali balki ko'rib olganlar bordir. Biza tanishtirib o'tishga birozgina kech qoldik va albatta buni sekin asta ketma-ketlik bilan amalga oshirishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Birinchi bo'lib, keling qatnashayotgan jamoalar haqida qisqagina tushuntirish berib ketay yoki qaysi jamoalar qatnashmoqda ushbu musobaqamizda. Xo'p, bizda 20 ta jamoa. 20 ta jamoa, adashmasam 5 ta guruhga bo'lingan. 5 ta guruhda 4 tadan jamoa. Ushbu 4 tadan jamoa bizda haftani boshida, ya'ni o'yin haftalarini boshida 3 kun 20 ta jamoa to'liqligicha o'ynashadi. 5 tadan kart. Lekin shunisi borki, o'sha 20 ta jamoa bo'lgandan keyin bitta karta, misol uchun I guruhi jamoasi o'yinchilari o'tkazib yuborishsa, ikkinchi kartada misol uchun D guruhi jamoalari o'tkazib yuborishadi o'yinlarni. Shuna qilib almashib jamoalar kuniga 4 tadan match o'ynashadi.
Lekin hozir o'sha muxlislarimiz biroz chalg'ib qolmasliklari uchun aytib o'tmoqchiman. Bugun 5 ta karta umuman turnir mobaynida 5 ta karta o'ynaladi va o'sha yangiliklari bor. Super Weekendga adashmasam oxirroviga yetib borganimizda Livi kartasi qo'shiladi va bu o'sha biroz noodatiy tarzda bo'lib o'tadi va mana formatimizni hozir bizga namoyish etishmoqda. O'sha fazalarni top 16 ga kirgan jamoalar, ya'ni finalga yo'l olishi, final 3 kun mobaynida 6 ta match orqali bo'lib o'tishi bizga namoyish etildi va
bundan oldingi Yevropa, ya'ni PMPL Yevropa musobaqasini g'oliblari esingizda bo'lsa, oxirgi kuni finalda g'olib bo'lgan jamoa bu Gaming Gladiators edi. Qanaqa kuchli, shiddatli o'yinni ko'rgan edingiz siz bilan? Bu shunchaki dahshat edi.
Albatta. Hozir aynan mana shu jamoa o'sha kamarni o'zlari bilan birga olib kelishgan.
Albatta. Yoki kamar, yoki shu oltin medal. Har xillari bor,
va eng qizig'i buni qaytarib olib ketishligi ham mumkin.
Albatta. Kamari o'sha siz aytganingizdek himoya qilishadi. Agar PUBG Mobile tilida aytadigan bo'lsak, kibersport tilida aytadigan bo'lsak, bu ko'proq kubok. Bu ko'proq kubok. Biz o'yinchilarimiz yoqtiradigani va ular intilishadigani. Xo'p, jamoalar bilan sekin-asta tanishtirib o'tadigan bo'lsak, bizda o'sha aytib o'tganimizdek bo'lindi jamoalar va undan oldin mana bizga grafikada namoyish etib o'tishmoqda. Prize pool, sovrin jamg'armasi. Sovrin jamg'armasi umumiysi 100 ming AQSh dollari. Va bo'linishi finalda qanaqa sovrin jamg'armasi, misol uchun o'sha finalga 16 ta jamoa o'tadi. Bundan oldin adashmasam aytib o'tdik. Hozir liga bosqichi ketmoqda. Liga bosqichidan 20 ta jamoa 16 tasi saralab olinadi va finalda 3 kun o'zaro 16 ta jamoa kuch sinashadi. Ularga alohida e'tibor berib o'tdik, point sistemasini ko'rib oldik. Hop, endi jamoalar bilan qisqagina. A guruhda Dark Project, Gaming Gladiators, Kalina Power va No Mercy jamoasi. Teshmayotgan bo'lsam, No Mercy jamoasi. Ha. Va bizda mana grafikalar bo'yicha yana ketma-ketlik,
aynan aytib o'tgan Livik kartasida bo'lib o'tadigan yangiliklar, aynan Robin Hood qanaqadir nominatsiyalar bizga namoyish etilmoqda va mana shu nominatsiyalarda faollikni amalga oshirgan o'yinchilarga taqdim etiladigan pul mukofotlari,
bonuslar deb atasak bo'ladi. Xo'p, yangi jamoani ham namoyish etib o'tishmoqda. Mana bunga to'xtalgan bo'lardik. Ozgina sabr qilib turishmadi, to'xtalgan bo'lardik. Yangi jamoa, ya'ni yangi roster ushbu Yevropa musobaqasida Havlik, Issiq, Oldboy, Rods. Ikkita o'yinchi, adashmasam Qaysi ham, hattoki 3tasi aynan bundan oldingi Yevropa musobaqasida ishtirok etishgan edi. Lekin Oldboy boshqa mintaqadan kelib, Titan Gaming tashkiloti nomi ostida deylik, yangi jamoada o'zi qolganlar bilan nisbatan tajribasi ushbu mintaqada ko'proq bo'lgan o'yinchilar bilan qatnashmoqda. Birinchi mavsum. Taxminlaringiz balki ushbu jamoa haqida o'zi umuman bazaviy fikringiz umumiy ko'ra.
Umuman olganda jamoadagi agar har bir o'yinchiga qaraydigan bo'lsak, juda ham tajribali o'yinchi, albatta. Hammaliga, lekin jamoa baribir yangi tuzilgan degan o'sha kichkinagina bitta ishlatiladigan so'z bor va mana shu kichkinagina ishlatiladigan so'zni o'zida orqasida katta ma'no yotibdi.
Albatta.
Shu sababli agar bunga e'tibor qaratadigan bo'lsak, baribir bu jamoani endi mana bu katta maydonda barchamiz bugun va o'sha bir oy mobaynida 21 kun ichida test qilganimiz menimcha qulayroq, menimcha fikr bildirishdan ko'ra.
Aniq. To'g'ri aytasiz aka. Va aynan ushbu jamoa qaysi guruhda joylashganiga ahamiyat beradigan bo'lsak, ushbu jamoa D guruhida joylashgan. PMPL Sports, Shockwave va yana o'sha yangi jamoa D guruhida. Undan tashqari, agar davom ettirib ketadigan bo'lsak, A guruhi haqida gaplashib o'tdik. Ya'ni Dark Project, Gaming Gladiators, Kalina Power va No Mercy. Bu yerda ham, ya'ni bu guruhda ham bitta novichok, ya'ni yangi jamoa bor. No Mercy. Bu ushbu jamoalar qatdan qo'shilib qoldi. Yana keyin hali yangi jamoalar bo'ladi boshqa guruhlarda. Oldindan biroz oldinga o'tib ketgan holatda aytib o'tamiz. Qayoqdan kelib qolishdi o'zi bu jamoalar? Oldingi Yevropa mavsumida esingizda bo'lsa agar ayrim jamoalar ya'ni diskvalifikatsiya qilingan edi, ayrim jamoalar shunchaki o'yinlardan chetlatilgan edi. Xuddi o'sha Kiev jamoasi, xuddi o'sha Grod jamoasi, xuddi o'sha yana qaysi jamoa? Adashmasam 3ta jamoani o'rniga qo'shilib kelgan yana 3ta jamoa bor. Xuddi shunaqa qaysi musobaqadan slot olingan bo'lsa, ya'ni qaysi musobaqadan slot yutib olingan bo'lsa, endi bu yerda haqqoniylikni ahamiyat berib o'tib ketish kerak. O'sha aynan musobaqada keyingi o'rinni egallagan, pastki o'rinni egallagan jamoa hozirda mana PMPL Yevropaga qilib ketdi.
Albatta, o'sha shaffoflik bor, ya'ni.
Albatta.
Aynan mana shu tomoniga e'tibor qaratadigan bo'lsak, aynan o'sha tark etgan, ya'ni band olgan jamoalarni pastdagi jamoalar taklif qilingan. Shu sababli 21 kun ichida menimcha o'zinglar ham o'rganib olasizlar aynan bu jamoalarga va juda ham qiziq bahslar, juda ham qiziq o'yinlar bo'lishi kutilmoqda. O'zi aynan guruhdagi barcha jamoalar buni o'zi ta'kidlab turibdi. Chunki deyarli 99% biz bilgan jamoalardan tashkil topgan bu guruhlar.
Bu mavsumda nima deb o'ylaysiz aziz aka? Hali timlistga qaytishga ulguramiz. O'yinlar davomida ham ko'rib olishimiz mumkin. O'shaning uchun sal chetroqga olib qo'ysak bo'ladi buni. Ushbu mavsumda endi umid qilamiz baribir hech qanaqa ban olgan jamoalar bo'lmaydi. Ya'ni chetlashtirilgan, diskvalifikatsiya qilingan jamoalar.
Buni men o'zim ko'rib chiqaman.
Albatta, o'tgan mavsumda kim esda bor, kim esda yo'q. Albatta o'sha holatda bo'lgan ediki, aziz akam aniq diskvalifikatsiya qilinadigan jamoalarni topib qo'ygan paytlari va aka tarixiy vaziyat desa bo'ladi. PMPL kuzgi mavsum birinchi kartasi, birinchi fazasini birinchi kartasi, birinchi kunni birinchi kartasi, yangi kartasi start olmoqda. Razvedkani ko'rib olishimiz mumkin va mana o'sha bizning team listimizda G.GLADIATORS, Power, No Mercy, VIRTUS jamoasi, MUERTE, Qaysi team, Major Pride va mana yana o'sha yangi jamoamiz Name. Keyingi jamoa Alpha Team, ana mana shu bolalarga men birozgina xursandman. Nimani hisobiga? Chunki bu Europe jamoasi. Bundan oldingi nima deydi o'sha musobaqamizda Europe nomi ostida harakat qilishgan va hozir mana Alpha Team o'zlariga tashkilot topa olishdi va ishtirok etishmoqda o'sha tashkilot nomi ostida. Dagestan 77 jamoasi 10-chi bo'lib hozircha turishdi. 11-chi SPG ro'yxat bo'yicha Tuna Esports. Mana shu yangi jamoalardan tasavvur ham bo'ldi. 13-chi o'rinda MUERTE Sports, bu ham yangi jamoa. Shockwave yangilangan tarkibi bilan 14-chi o'rinda Titan Gaming, mana o'sha yangi roster, yangi tarkib 15-chi o'rinda. To'g'ri, 15-chi bo'lib ro'yxatda turibdi. 16-chi bo'lib turibdi bizda Vulgar Esports yoki Vulgar Boys jamoasi.
Demak, barcha jamoalar samolyot kabinasini tark etib ulgurishdi va o'z sportlariga yo'l olishmoqda. Birinchi pro zonamizni ko'rishingiz mumkin. Ясная Поляна, Rajot, Shkola, Mission sportlari juda ham qulay pozitsiyalarga aylanib turibdi hozircha. Va aynan mana shu taraflarda juda ham ko'p jamoalar harakatlanayotganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Deyarli 50-60%, yarmi aynan mana shu tarafda harakatlanmoqda. Yuqori taraflar o'z-o'zidan bo'sh, chunki razvedkamizni ko'rgan bo'lsanglar shu pastdan amalga oshirildi. Shu sababli mana sekanstalik bilan o'sha yuqorida harakatlanadigan jamoalar o'z sportlariga transportlar orqali yo'l olishmoqda. Dagestan jamoasi o'yinchilari hozir ma'lumot bor ekan raqib jamoalar haqida.
Mana The Nameless jamoasi o'yinchilari bizni ushbu Yevropa musobaqasida, PMPL Yevropa musobaqasida yangilarimiz. Hozir birozgina qiyinroq ahvolda Dagestan o'yinchilari ularni kutishmoqda. Xo'p, Aziz aka, keling nachani, ya'ni birinchi faytlarimiz yo'q, bir paytda yo'q, mana faytlarimiz bor. Birinchi o'yinda qoladigan o'yinchi qoladigan kelishi mumkin. Nameless jamoasi va holati o'yinchida tabiiy ham qilib yuborishdi. Aynan Nameless jamoasida ikkita o'yinchi yo'qotishdi. Allaqachon ikkita o'yinchi yo'qotishdi. Bu bizning yangi jamoamizga birozgina noqulay start bo'ldi ushbu musobaqamizda. Kuzatishda davom etamiz va Aziz aka, bitta narsaga to'xtalish esdan chiqdi, yoddan ko'tarildi. I guruhi, men hozir keyingi kartamizda to'xtalib o'taman degan edim. Hozir menimcha to'xtalib o'tmasak bo'lmaydi, chunki chatimizda boom etadi. I guruhida Madballs, Nexus Gaming, VIRTUS.PRO va Unicorns of Love jamoalari o'rin egallashgan va to'xtalib o'tish kerak VIRTUS.PROga, chunki bu ham yangi roster, yangi tarkib va shu tarkibda bizni hamyurtimiz Bek ishtirok etadi.
Albatta, yaqindagina o'sha tashkil topgan ushbu jamoa, bu jamoada ham xuddi o'sha Titan Gamingga o'xshagan holat, lekin bu jamoani o'sha umuman o'tkazayotgan o'yinlariga e'tibor beradigan bo'lsak, hali o'sha bir-birlariga qo'sha olmaslik kuzatilmoqda. O'sha o'yinchilar hali bir-birlari bilan u qadar ham chiqishib ketishgani yo'q. Shu sababli natijalar ham shunga mos va xos bo'lib turibdi hozircha. Lekin bu o'sha biz hozir mana shu PMPL Yevropa o'yinlarigacha ko'rgan o'sha kichik turnirlarimiz, ya'ni o'sha taktikalar test bo'layotgan bo'lishi ham mumkin. Shu sababli aynan mana bu turnirimizda bu jamoadan balki boshqacha tarzda o'yinlarni ko'rishimiz mumkin bo'ladi. Va bu juda ham qiziq. MUERTE jamoasi o'yinchilari bizga namoyish etilmoqda. Litvka spotini ushbu jamoa lut qilish bilan hozircha ovora. Milky Way, Malloy hamda Korka Furyalarini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Va o'sha bizga hozircha yangi jamoa bo'lib turgan Team Nameless jamoasi rotatsiyani amalga oshirishmoqda. 2 kishi bo'lib qolib ketishdi. Afsuski, o'yin boshidan o'z ikkita sheriklarini yo'qotishdi. Va endi bu yog'iga o'sha qo'ldan kelgancha pointlarni ishlashga harakat qilib ko'rishadi, place pointga o'ynashga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Ko'ramiz, ushbu jamoa buni qay tariqa uddala olar ekan. Va Alfa jamoasi o'yinchilarini ko'rmoqdamiz. Juda ham tajribali o'yinchilardan tashkil topgan jamoa. Ko'rishimiz mumkin Hashipa, Tenchik hamda Mandarin, Reflect. Ko'ramiz, bu jamoa ham juda ham chiroyli o'yin ko'rsatish imkoniyatiga ega bo'lgan jamoalardan. Va buni sizlarga va bizlarga isbotlashga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Shockwave jamoasi o'yinchilari ham rotatsiyani amalga oshirishmoqda. Shundoqqina GG jamoasi o'yinchisi Kitsunni yonginasidan bu jamoa hozir rotatsiyani amalga oshirib, navbatdagi pozitsiyaga, kubiy pozitsiyasiga yetib kelishdi. Va Kitsun o'z yo'nalishini biroz chaproqqa, o'sha o'rmonlar orasiga o'zgartirganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Va hozircha ma'lumot yig'ish bilan ovora bo'ladi jamoa sardori.
Dagestan 77 jamoasi ushbu hozirgi kartamizda faqatgina bir dona yagona jamoa bo'lib turibdi. To'g'ri aytadigan bo'lsak, pointi bor. Kim bilandir kontest o'tkazgan.
Boshida Team Nameless jamoasi o'yinchilaridan 2 kishini o'z hisoblariga yozib olishdi va hozircha shu aynan killlar bo'yicha ustunlikni egallab turishdi.
3 ta yangi jamoa bor ekan ushbu kartamizda. Bu menimcha aynan o'sha kartalar bo'yicha birinchi karta va rekord kartasi. Boshqa kartalarda unaqa holat kuzatilmaydi aniq, ya'ni har bitta hattoki bu yerda adashmasam Permite Sports ham eski Avalanche sostavini tarkibini o'zlariga yozib olishgan edi, agar yodimdan chiqmagan bo'lsa. To'g'ri eslayotgan bo'lsam, nima bo'lgan taqdirda ham ushbu aynan kartamizda juda ham ko'p. Bizda yangi tarkiblar, yangi nomlar, jamoa nomlari. Qaysi jamoasi haqida fikringiz? Aynan ushbu jamoa bundan oldingi mavsumdan oraroq yana makerlarni o'zini tarkibiga qo'shib oldi. Birozgina tarkibda o'zgarishlar bo'ldi. Hozir mana tarkibda Trovka bor. Bu ham tajribali sardor deb ayta olamiz. Anchadan beri professional jamoalar, professional o'yinchilar qatorida ushbu o'yinchi
juda ham katta backgroundga ega bo'lgan o'yinchi va shu bilan birgalikda tajriba, shu siz aytib o'tganingizdek, bu o'yinchida juda ham katta.
Hop, Major Pride jamoasini namoyish qilib o'tishdi Dagestan jamoasi va esingizda bo'lsa, aslida aynan PMPL Yevropani boshida o'tgan mavsumda bizda xuddi shu holat kuzatilgan ediki, Dagestan 77 va Major Pride jamoasi o'rtasida kontest bo'lib o'tgan edi. Bunga birozdan keyin to'xtalib o'tamiz, chunki bizda fight bo'lib o'tmoqda. GG o'yinchisidan bittasi holatida menimcha katta ehtimol bilan dabit ham qilib yuborildi. Ha, Kill SBG jamoasi Snowwicksga. Snowwicks qaysi jamoada edi? Esizdami bundan oldingi bitta?
Snowwicks adashmasam Triple'dami?
Yo'q, Shockwave.
Ha, Shockwave'da.
Men ham adashmayotgan bo'lsam Shockwave'da. Yevropa, rostmana Yevropa jamoalari o'rtasida ahamiyat bergan bo'lsangiz, o'zgarishlar bo'lib o'tdi. va sezilarli darajada. Misol uchun Shokoyev hozir tarkibini qarasangiz ham o'zgarishlar bor, sezilarli darajada o'zgarishlar bor. SBG xuddi shunday o'zgarishlar bor ushbu jamoa tarkibida. Va musobaqa doirasida ko'rib boramiz. Aynan yana qaysi jamoalarda, qaysi tarkiblarda to'g'riroq qanaqa o'zgarishlar bor.
Bulgar jamoasi o'yinchilarini bizga namoyish etishganida rejissyorlarimiz va endi
No Mercy Players.
No Mercy jamoasi o'yinchilarini namoyish etishmoqda. O'sha xavfli zona aylana yurishni boshlaganini ko'rishimiz mumkin va jamoalar o'z-o'zidan xavfsiz hududga yo'l olishmoqda. Ko'ramiz. Ikkinchi prog zonamizga ahamiyat bergan bo'lsanglar, endi biroz o'sha aldamchi harakatlar bilan pastga yangi o'sha ko'rinishni namoyon qildi va shu sababli balki G.G jamoasi o'yinchilaridan biri, ya'ni Kitsun, ular avvaliga o'sha yuqoridan taxmin qilib ko'rishdi, pozitsiya egallashga va navbatdagi prog zonamiz pastga ketgandan keyin ular majbur bo'lishdi yana o'z pozitsiyalarini o'zgartirishga va mana shu rotatsiyada Kitsunni o'z hisoblariga yozib olishdi SBG jamoasi o'yinchilari va mana ko'z ochib yumguncha 3-zonamiz ham hozir namoyon bo'ladi. Shunchaki qisqarmoqda, shunchaki kichraymoqda, hech qayoqqa xarshif amalga oshirilgani yo'q. Endi mana bu zonamizga nisbatan Major Pride jamoasi o'yinchilari juda ham yaxshi pozitsiyada turishdi va hozir mana Nomi o'z sheriklariga yaqinlashib olmoqda. Titan jamoasi o'yinchilari ham hozir o'sha o'z orqalaridan kirib keladigan jamoalarni rotatsiyada ushlab olishlari mumkin.
Dark Project jamoasini rotatsiyasiga ahamiyat bermoqdasiz va parallel ravishda Kaina Power'dan Beka Agori bilan hozir tutib olishi mumkin edi Dark Projectning bitta o'yinchisini va ana endi ularda yana parallel rotatsiya endi Alpha team bilan, Alpha jamoasi bilan, lekin menimcha bu yerda kontest bo'lib o'tmaydi.
MUERTE jamoasi o'yinchisi Maloy hozir Bekani nuk holatga keltirdi Klozik tomoniga zajim qashipadan, lekin hech qanday damage amalga oshirilmadi. Klozik ham o'z sheriklari oldiga bir amallab yetib olganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Bu pozitsiyada o'ynash biroz o'sha qiyinchilik tug'dirishi mumkin agar ularning atroflariga raqib jamoalar kelib joylashib olishsa, lekin hozircha unga hojat yo'q, ya'ni xavotirga tushishga hojat yo'q. Bu vaqtda raqib jamoalardan hech qaysilari ularga xalaqit berayotgani yo'q. Piramida jamoasi hozir Bulgar jamoasi o'yinchilariga o'z rejimlarini amalga oshirishmoqda. Bekani o'z hisobiga yozib qo'ydi Hashipa.
Birozgina omadsiz boshladi Kaina Power ham aynan rotatsiyalar bo'yicha
holatda ekan.
Albatta, Akorini ham o'zlarining hisoblariga kill point sifatida yozib qo'yishdi. Endi buni demayman. Jamoasi amalga oshirishdi va Peluchi bilan Ofreys ham birozgina qaltisroq holatda.
Ma'lumot bor, taxminiy ma'lumot bor aynan qolgan sheriklari qaysi pozitsiyada o'ynayotganligi haqida, lekin Milkway o'sha riskovat qilgisi kelmadi desa bo'ladi. Balki o'z sherigini olib hozir kurashni amalga oshiradi. Furiya hozir o'sha cover pozitsiyasida turgan edi, lekin Furiya ham orqaga qaytayotganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Bu esa imkoniyat bermoqda. Ya'ni Power jamoasi o'yinchilarini yana o'yinni davom ettirishlariga. Reflect hozir Bulgar jamoasi o'yinchilaridan birini nuk holatiga keltirdi va bizga birinchi airdropni o'tkazilgan o'yinchi haqida ma'lumot berib o'tib ketishdi.
Furiya, Korka hozir pozitsiyalari juda ham yaxshi. Kanina Power'dan ushbu pozitsiyani olib qo'yishdi. Ularga katta splitda turishga berishgani yo'q va aynan ushbu pozitsiyadan keyingi rotatsiyalarni qurishni boshlashadi ushbu jamoa o'yinchilari. Potensial killlari bor oldinda yana, undan tashqari xuddi o'sha Kanina Power o'yinchilari ham bularga potensial kill sifatida qarashing mumkin, lekin yo'q. Mana ahamiyat berayotgan bo'lsangiz, umuman 10 tarafga ketib qolishgan ekan. Maloy. Xo'p, keyingi zonamiz o'rtalashmoqda. Major Pride o'yinchilari juda ham zo'r pozitsiyani egallab turishibdi. GG o'yinchilari zonani o'qishmoqda, gap so'z bo'lishi mumkin emas. Undan tashqari endi qarang. Bor yo'g'i 4 ta jamoa, endi 5 ta deylik zonada. Qolganlarni qarang. Hamma zonadan tashqarida va ular aynan qaysi pozitsiyalarga kirib kelishar ekan. Shu ham qiziq. Menimcha ushbu zonamizda juda ham ko'p hozir faytlar bo'ladi va davom etadi.
Albatta. Bulgar jamoasi o'yinchisini o'z hisobiga yozib olmoqda. Ikkinchiga Qaysi jamoasi o'yinchilari mana ishga kirishdi. Hozir Alfa jamoasi o'yinchilaridan biri nok holatida edi. MUERTE jamoasi o'yinchilaridan biri nok holatida Nomi tomonidan Polka hamda Nuko'ni nok holatiga keltirdi. Bitta zajim bilan Nomi hozir ikkita o'yinchini nok holatiga keltirmoqda va balki bu pozitsiyaga push amalga oshirilishi ham mumkin edi, lekin Nomi o'z pozitsiyasidan hozircha qimirlagani yo'q. Shockwave o'yinchilari esa
Qaysi fight hozir No Mercy jamoasi bilan fightni olib borishmoqda. Shockwave ko'ramiz. 2 ga hozir bu pozitsiyada 3 fight bo'lib o'tadi. Shundoqqina tepalarda qolgan o'yinchilar bor. No Mercy mana jamoadoshlariga ochilib olishda PMPL Sports uchun bu omadsiz karta bo'ldi, chunki ular birinchilardan bo'lib yopilib ketishdi. Hattoki o'sha boshda o'yinchilarni yo'qotgan Nameless jamoasi ham hali yashashmoqda.
Hozir No Mercy jamoasidan ajoyib o'yin ko'rdik, chunki aynan PUBG'ni hozir aldagan tarzda bu jamoa bo'shatib berdi Shockwave'ga. Shockwave to'liq tarkib bilan mana shu PUBG ichiga kirib qoldi va tashqaridan shunchaki hayeshkalar orqali hozir nok amalga oshirishmoqda.
Lekin hech nima yo'qotilmadi hali, chunki bir donagina o'yinchi nok holatida bor edi, uni ham ko'tarib olish ishlari menimcha boshlanib ketdi. Agar boshlanmagan bo'lsa, endi boshlashligi kerak, aniq. Hozir mana shu ochilib qo'yishadigan bo'lsa, agar terminus qo'pol xatoga yo'l qo'ygan bo'lar edi, ko'ramiz. Yo'q, Ezerni ko'tarib olish juda ham qiyin. Hozir aynan No Mercy jamoasi o'yinchisiga damajlar berildi, lekin adashmasam nok holat yo'q.
Uchinchi nok holatida hozir
mana bo'ldi. Yopib yuborishdi Shockwave jamoasini. No Mercy jamoasi endi bemalol harakat qilishadi. Ikkita o'yinchini ko'tarib olishlari kerak. Bu ularning vazifalari. Yo'q, mana Dagestan 77 o'yinchilari ularni shunaqangi tepasiga kelib olishibdi ki, hozir bu yerda yaxshi harakat qilgan va lekin o'yinchini ko'tarish ishlari boshlanib ketgan. Bu yerda ikkita o'yinchi juda ham qiynalishadi shu pozitsiyadan chiqib ketishga, chunki zona juda ham kam bu yoqda. Menimcha zonaga amallab ilinib qolishi kerak. Smoklar bilan azgincha yashab turishadigan bo'lsa, kina ilinib qolishadi. Bulgar jamoasi. Adashmasam bitta o'yinchini yo'qotishdi Bulgar jamoasi va mana ko'rinib turibdi. 3 donagina kimligi bor bu o'yinchilarni. Wrestling namoyish etib o'tishdi. U tomonidan hozir ko'rilayotgan vision qanday holatda va mana jamoalar hozir holati kim qaysi pozitsiyada kimlar fight qilib fight olib borishmoqda. Dagestan o'yinchilari yana nok holati bor va ahamiyat bering push qilishmoqda. No Mercy jamoasi bitta o'yinchini dabit qilib yuborishdi va bo'ldi. Issiqni bir o'zi qoldi. No Mercy jamoasini hozir pointlari endi faqatgina ushbu o'yinchiga bog'liq bo'lib qoldi. Keyingi zonamizni ko'rib oldik. Pastga hard shift amalga oshirildi deb bemalol ayta olsak kerak. Va JJ o'yinchilari zonada. Zonani endi ular chetida. Bundan oldingi zonamizga nisbatan o'rtasida joylashib turishgan.
Dagestan jamoasi navbatdagi o'lchasi aynan JJ jamoasi o'yinchilari bo'lishi mumkin, chunki aynan pozitsiya shunga olib bormoqda. Aynan JJga yaratilgan pozitsiya. Kanina Power jamoasi o'yinchilari hozir Qaysi jamoasiga qarshi fightni amalga oshirishmoqda. O'lboy hozir Ofqo'zni holatiga keltirdi. Rops uni o'z hisobiga yozib qo'ydi. Jamoasi hisobiga yozib qo'ydi va uchun bir o'zi qolib ketmoqda ekan. Ya'ni Power uchun birinchi kartamiz biroz omadsiz boshlanganini ko'rishimiz mumkin va Titan jamoasi o'yinchisi O'lboy esa o'z jamoasiga bitta kill point yozib qo'yishga muvaffaq bo'ldi. Hozircha to'liq tarkib bilan yashashmoqda Titan jamoasi o'yinchilari. Malloy hozir qaysi jamoa o'yinchisida adashmasam Team Nameless jamoasi o'yinchilaridan biriga nutni amalga oshirdi. Peluchi O'lboy hisobiga yozildi va Kanina Power lobbiga yo'l olmoqda.
To'pon-tor keyingi kartamizni kutishadi. Xusus Titan jamoasi o'yinchilari. Yomon boshlashayotgani yo'q hozircha. Yomon ketishayotgani yo'q. O'lboy hisobida 2 ta kill jamoasini oldinga chorlay olmoqda ushbu yigit. Bulgar jamoasida yana yo'qotish bor. Afsuski nok holatlar hozircha mana endi Dakmini hozir dabit qilib yuborishi, Treslini adashmasam bitta o'zi qolib ketmoqda ushbu jamoada. Ha, bitta o'zi sherigini ko'tarib olish imkoniyati bor va Alfa jamoasi yopilib ketishmoqda. Birdonlikda xayrishga bilan endi to'g'ri tushunish kerak, qolgan o'yinchilar o'zi ikkita donligida qolgan o'yinchi LOHPlarda qolgan edi va mana Kipni xayrishkasi, mana bu o'yinchi uchun ko'rinib turibdi. Full HP bilan bo'lsa ham o'yinchi, ya'ni ochkolar to'liq bo'lsa ham farqi yo'q. Bitta xayrishga bilan shu ko'radi.
Lekin jamoasi o'yinchilarini ham yo'qotmoqdamiz 7 kill bilan. Hozir Robsning holatida Titan jamoasida, lekin
Oldboy bilan birgalikda holat.
Oldboy ham holatga keltirildi. Qaysi jamoasi o'yinchilari yaxshi qiyinchilik keltirib chiqarishmoqda. Aynan Titan jamoasi o'yinchilariga Qaysi hozir o'z sheriklaridan ma'lumot olgan holda ularni ko'tarishga yetib kelayotgan bir pallada. Qaysi jamoasi o'yinchilari granata orqali o'z hisoblariga Oldboyni yozib olishdi. Aynan Qaysi jamoasida ham shaxsan men uchun o'zgarishlar bo'lib o'tganini ko'rish mumkin bo'lmoqda. Ingushni aynan bu jamoada harakatlanishi men uchun yangilik. Qaysi jamoasi o'yinchilari 2 kishi bo'lib qolib ketishgan, Unicorn hamda Trovka. Ko'ramiz.
Issiq bir o'zi yashamoqda, Tuna Esports o'yinchisi ham uni shundoqqina tepasida. Ko'ramiz, ushbu o'yinchilarni ham harakatlari juda ham qiziq menga. Purple boshchiligidagi jamoa. Purple bundan oldingi esingizda bo'lsa, mavsumimizda VIRTUS.PRO jamoasi tarkibida o'ynashgan edi. Bu mavsumda mana endi u Tuna Esports jamoasida Robs oldingi dimlar bilan harakat qilishmoqda. Major Pride o'yinchilari Dino ham yurtimiz bilan Dinoga omad tilab qolamiz o'yinlarda. Eng stabil kelayotgan, to'g'ri, unaqa natijalari bo'yicha wow demasa ham har doim ham, lekin o'sha stabil o'ynab keladigan o'yinchilardan biri mana Dino uyg'onmoqda va jamoasiga 2 killdan naqd olib kelmoqda. Kasik o'yinchilarni sezmadi deb aytamiz.
Albatta endi umuman olganda, hozir Robsning qoliga keltirildi Tuna jamoasi o'yinchilari tomonidan. Endi Qaysi jamoasi o'yinchilari o'z juda ham qiyin holatda turishgandi, chunki ular qarama-qarshilik ko'rsatishni olgani yo'q bu paytda, lekin Dinoni o'sha sezgirligi, aynan o'sha dim ichiga uloqtirgan granatasi jamoasiga 2 kill pointni taqdim etdi. Juda ham yaxshi 3 kishi bo'lib harakatlanishmoqda Major Pride jamoasi o'yinchilari. Va hozir zonani xavfsiz hududiga kirish uchun yaxshi pozitsiyada ham harakatlanishmoqda. Dino yana ma'lumot yig'ish maqsadida aynan o'sha Titan Gaming o'yinchilari harakatlanayotgan pozitsiyaga yaqinlashib bormoqda. O'z sherigi bilan birgalikda. Naomi bu kim edi?
Naomi bu Monkey va Major Pride o'yinchilari davom etishmoqda. Killlarni ishlashda 5 ta kill point bor. Dino tomonga xayrishga otildi, lekin samara bergani yo'q. Robs ko'ramiz. Robs va IC o'zi qolganligini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Dinoni hozir vazifasi xayrishkalarga tushib qolmaslik, random otilayotgan xayrishkalarga. Undan tashqari mana dinlar otib qo'yildi. Endi xayrishkalar qolmadi menimcha Robsda. Va ko'ramiz. Tuna Esportsda 2 o'yinchi ko'rgan edim, o'zi 3 ta qolishibdi. Bu degani hali oldinda bemalol harakat qilish uchun imkoniyatlar bor.
Boshqa bir burchakda esa, boshqa bir tarafda esa Dark Project jamoasi o'yinchilari harakatlanishmoqda va hozir Robsning holatiga keltirildi Naomi tomonidan. Hozir jamoalar bir-birlari bilan faytga kirishmoqda. Robsni ko'tarib olishni endi menimcha imkoni ko'rmaydi. Ko'ramiz, yana ham Robs o'shaliklar tomoniga yaqinlashmoqda-yu, lekin Major Pride jamoasi o'yinchilari shunchaki Titan jamoasi o'yinchilarini push qilgan holatda yopib borishmoqda. Juda ham yaxshi 7 ta kill point jamoa hisobiga yozib qo'yildi allaqachon va ko'ramiz, pozitsiya ham egallandi ularga. Endi yaqin harakatlanayotgan Tuna Esports jamoasi o'yinchilari bor va ular hozir yana pozitsiyani fightga kirishadi. Closing esa o'z o'sha ortida raqib jamoa o'yinchilaridan biri harakatlanayotgani haqida taxminiy ma'lumotga ega. Shu sababli u mana shu tarafni ma'lumotlarini yig'ish bilan ovora bo'lib turibdi. Hozircha to'liq tarkib bilan harakatlanayotgan, adashmasam faqat mana shu Dark Project jamoasi o'yinchilari bo'lib turishibdi va qolgan jamoalar adashmasam 3 kishi bo'lib harakatlanishmoqda. Balki
yo'q, xuddi shunaqa 3 kishi Dinoni afsuski nok holatida. Xo'p, ko'ramiz. Bu yerda qanday holat bo'ladi? Ikkinchi o'yinchi ham nok holatida, Black White nok holatida, Naomi ko'ramiz. Jamoa sardori bu yerda nima qila oladi? Unga qarshi sajin bo'lib o'tmoqda. Yaxshi. Hozircha DBSda yaxshi nok holatga keltira oldi. Keyingi o'yinchilarga ham qarshilik ko'rsata olishi kerak. Endi Naomi sheriklarini ko'tarish. Yaxshi. Mana Dark Project o'yinchilari Ivaneska ajoyib hozir nima deydi, cover masalasini amalga oshirib berdi. Major Pride o'yinchilariga endi bemalol Naomi o'z sheriklarini ko'tarib olishga harakat qilish mumkin. Aces bundan oldingi mavsumimizda IRR jamoasida ishtirok etgan, o'zini o'yinlarini o'tkazgan o'yinchi hozir Dark Projectda. Ko'ramiz qanday natija ko'rsatar ekan ushbu o'yinchi Dark Project jamoasi bilan. Bizda hozir kartamizda bor jamoalar bu Bulgar, GG, Major Pride va
GP
Dark Project.
Hozir juda ham qiziq ko'rinish yuzaga kelmoqda. Aynan GG jamoasi o'yinchilari mana chatimizda sekin astalik bilan o'zlarini namoyish etishmoqda, lekin hozircha adashmasam hech qanday kill pointlarni ular amalga oshirishgani yo'q.
Sardorlar jangi bo'lib o'tdi. Hozir sardorlar o'sha Noka ko'rgan bo'lsangiz, Naomi, ya'ni Monkey, Ivaneska degan holatiga tushirib qo'ydi. Ivaneskani to'g'rirog'i ko'ramiz. U yerda Bulgar bilan GG o'yinchilari ham aktiv faytni olib borishmoqda. Bulgar o'yinchilaridan yana bittasi lobbiga jo'natildi. Ko'ramiz GG bu yerda qanday harakat qilishar ekan, kutishmoqda ular, faytni kutishmoqda.
Major Pride jamoasi o'yinchilari hozircha o'z sheriklari Dinoni ko'tarib olishganicha yo'q. Va Monkey ham holatga keltirilmoqda Force tomonidan uloqtirgan Hayeshga. Aynan mana shu holatni yuzaga keltirmoqda. Hozir endi GP jamoasi o'yinchilari agressiv harakat qilgan holda.
Aces.
Kim bu yerga daraxt ekib qo'ydi?
Ikkisiga ham. Aces hozir qiynalishi mumkin. Quiet. Nimalar qilmoqda? Holatga o'zi ham keltirildi. Mana GG o'yinchilarni sabrliligi nimaga olib kelmoqda? Ular top 1ni qo'liga kiritishga juda ham yaqin turishdi, chunki Dark Projectda bitta o'yinchi nok holatida ikkinchisiga yo'qotilgan va ikkitasi hozircha oyoqda turibdi, lekin pozitsiyasi birozgina yaxshi emas. Ivaneska ham mana nok holatga keltirildi. Dino oxirida baribir Dino yashamoqda, gap so'z bo'lishi mumkin emas jamoasi uchun. Nima deydi, o'sha oxirgi umidlarni olib keladigan o'yinchi sifatida o'ynamoqda. Bekorga ushbu mavsumda ham u Major Pride tarkibida emas, ya'ni PMGC pointlar bo'yicha, ya'ni PMGC marafoni uchun pointlarda hozir Major Pride ma'lumot o'rnida aytib o'tish kerak, birinchi o'rinda ketishmoqda. Yo'q, bu GG emas. GG o'yinchilari yopib yuborishdi Dark Projectni. Ana endi 2 ga hozir 3 faytni ko'ramiz. GG o'yinchilari boshida o'ynashgan edi. Gap so'z bo'lishi mumkin emas, ko'ramiz
2 fayt.
Yaxshi. Dino Mekonini holatga keltirmoqda. GG o'yinchilari hozir to'pirni berib qo'yishlari mumkin. Naomining holatida Dino yo'q. GG o'yinchilari hozir to'pirni qo'lga kiritishmoqda. Birinchi kartamizda dominatsiyadan boshlashdi ushbu jamoa.
Albatta juda ham chiroyli o'yinni biz guvohi bo'ldik. GG jamoasi o'yinchilari o'z sabrlari bilan, o'z o'sha aqllari bilan harakat qilgan holda juda ham chiroyli o'yinni namoyish etishdi. Jafar, tayyormiz?
Nechta keldi?
Jafar. Ehtiyotdan deyman.
G.G o'yinchilari top 1ni qo'liga kiritishdi. Ajoyib birinchi kartadan yaxshi boshlashdi va oxiridagi drama haqida ozgincha to'xtalib o'tadigan bo'lsak, bir qarasa G.G o'yinchilari o'zlarining o'sha aytib o'tdik sabrlariga yarasha top 1ni aniq qo'lga kiritishadi dedik. Lekin Major Pride kutilmaganda Dark Projectni yo'q, undan ham oldin qaysi jamoa edi? Adashmasam Tuna Sportsmidi? Birinchi ularni agressiv faytlariga chiday olishdi. Keyin undan tashqari Dark Project o'yinchilari 4 kishi bo'lib bostirib borishdi. Ularga qarshilik ko'rsata olishdi. Birinchi Aces transportda nok holatiga keltirildi Black White tomonidan ajoyib tarzda DPS yordamida. Keyin Dark Project o'yinchilari ulardan qutulgandan keyin G.G o'yinchilari bilan faytni olib borishdi. Dino yaxshi harakat qildi, buni ta'kidlasak bo'lmaydi. Va bizga mana o'sha kartalarimizda to'plangan pointlarni ham tanishtirib o'tishmoqda. Ushbu kartamizda MUERTE 4 point, Alpha Team 3, SPG 2, Qaysi Team 1 va qolgan jamoalar esa 0 pointni qo'lga kiritishgan. Pointlarni ya'ni qo'lga kiritishmagan. G.G o'yinchilari birinchi kartadagi top 1lari bilan tabriklab qolamiz. Yaxshi natija, yaxshi boshlashdi va xuddi shunday Major Pride gap so'z bo'lishi mumkin emas. Zino, respect va keyingi kartamiz oldidan
have to echo what Blank was saying towards the end of that game. Matic has just leveled up, it seems, since PM.
Navbatdagi kartamiz bir necha daqiqalar ichida start oladi va sizlar bilan aynan mana shu kartada biz ko'rishamiz.
So much more reliable, really, as Blank mentioned, and he's just able to pop off so much more consistently and getting 8 elims, while Tixi, which is a renowned fragger, gets 2 and Meku gets 1, and losing Kitsune early game 2. What a game from Matic. This game would not have been possible without him, so really impressed, and I hope we see this continue throughout the entirety of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kitsune as well, we have to highlight it there. 0 damage, but again, being the IGL, giving the team those comms still, as you mentioned earlier, Max, when we were watching that game from the green room. But when we're looking at both of these teams and the damage that they've done, Gladiators is just in a different league. Yes, 1 less elimination, but still, you have 11 elimination points, you have the first place finish points, and you have a ton of damage. What more can you ask for your first game back?
Not much, you know, that is pretty much peak of what you could expect from Gladiators. Though for Dark Project, I'm not going to lie, Ginny. This is one of the teams that I saw them lose some of their top players. I mean, especially losing weight, that was a really big loss for the team. I was like, I don't expect much from Dark Project. But instantly on like phase 2, fully send it into OP dip, then they go a little bit north of OP dip. They fully clear teams across the roadside, playing that ridge so perfectly. Then eliminate MUERTE, get all the loot they need to transition onto Tuna into the circle. There were so many steps that it's really hard to really highlight on a desk like this. I would have to do like a map breakdown pretty much. But every step made so much sense and was executed so well. Sure, they don't get themselves extremely far in the game, but they get so many eliminations and the team synergy really seems present with players that I would say, Ginny, I have never seen really play before in a PMPL. And already making a bang like this on the first game, I'm telling you, this team could be a big surprise for the entirety of the season.
Yeah, it does bring the question, though, whether it's going to be a flash in the pan, that first game, that adrenaline pumping, running, you're very much honed in, zoned in, focused on getting that win, or whether this is something that they are consistently able to bring through the rest of their games. Because at the end of the day, even during spring 2023 from this year, consistency was really something that some of these teams struggled with. So if they're able to get that down after the performance that we've seen from them today, I absolutely agree. It's a scary one, and we got to keep our eyes on for them.
Yeah, I was not even listening, Ginny. I was just looking at that great replay, how good it was from Matic. It really impressive. But the control they take is just so hard. Though Major Pride, I think they got a little bit too confident at some point, fully sending it outside the circle south. They allowed Tuna Esport to kind of like surround them afterwards in the circle, so that was a bit maybe of an overstep, but they still get themselves a really strong game of second place with a ton of elims, but it doesn't even get close to Matic with a great conversion rate, 890 damage for 8 elims. Whew. He was on fire, though Shifu Hey, Ginny, we like our boy Shifu.
We do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shifu.
Popping off.
Got 3 elims from those nades as well, so that's something to keep in mind. But when we're looking at the damage in terms of dealt on the map, Major Pride actually the ones on top, followed by Gladiators. So yes, Gladiators get 11 elims, but it's Major Pride who have just been out there doing so much damage.
Yeah, and the moment they transitioned across the road, because the timing from Major Pride was really fantastic. They hear the fight happening south. I think you had Kazakh team, Titan trying to cross the road, Tuna Esports trying to go for like a little bit of an off-angle situation. They hear that fight unfold. Major Pride instantly realize, okay, this is a tough transition for us to make. We need to do it when teams are at their weakest, and that's of course when they're already fighting other squads. So they make that cross happen. And I saw Dino was like 5-6 grenades the moment he crossed. I'm like, okay, they're just going to obliterate all the teams south, which is what happened because that utility is so important to have in those kind of scenarios when you're playing those ridges. So yeah, good transition from Major Pride. It wasn't easy, but they were able to bring it back from the brink of death.
Yeah, and that's very important to be able to bring it back, to be able to get those points on the board, finish high in those rankings, get as many eliminations as you can, because as much as we're saying, yes, this is such a long season and we have multiple weeks, we have multiple play days a week, it's still important to remember that starting off strong and being able to keep that momentum going is going to be so important to finishing first, or at least finishing in those top 12s, getting on those bonus maps, and just keep reeling in those points, you know?
Yeah, talking about momentum, we just had one game, but that's what we expecting, right? We saw what happened last season. Consistency is key. Exactly. You're going to have that from all these teams. Consistency is always going to be key. If we can see teams like Major Pride, Gladiators, just keep these kind of games going the entirety of the season, chances are they're going to stay in that spot. And it's so important for Major Pride too, because we looked at the points ranking earlier, right, for PMGC. And currently, they cannot afford to fumble. They cannot afford to fall down, because if they have a single bad phase, that could be an opportunity for a Mad Bulls, for a Gladiators to close that gap and overtake that spot. And I can tell you, if there's any team that wants to go back into PMGC, it has to be this new roster of Major Pride, right? Because we saw some of the players, like mainly looking at some of the players that played in the last year's PMGC, and they want to try and requalify, of course, mainly looking at effect. And that's some great experience to have. So they're going to try their best. But with Gladiators also getting a win like this, it's tough to say. Like a 100-point gap like that could fall really quickly.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to wait and see, because we're ready to head into our second map of today. So thank you, Monster, for making it possible. And also thank you, John and Blank, for walking us through the action.